to Liberated Leader, leading boldly beyond the old rules. We've all been led by someone who checked all of the boxes of leadership, but left us feeling unseen, uninspired, or just plain drained. Maybe you've had the opposite experience as well. Someone who wasn't the boss on paper, but their presence shifted the entire room. Hi, I'm Katie Schuelke, and for 25 years, I navigated leadership inside a system built on old rules. I didn't always play by them. In fact, I probably rarely played by them, but I definitely felt the weight of them. Here's the harsh truth: you don't have to believe in the old rule book for it to shape how you're measured, rewarded, or burned out. You see, I was the project manager who could juggle 100 moving parts, hit impossible deadlines, and keep whole teams on track. On the outside, success. Behind the scenes, exhaustion, misalignment, and a treadmill to nowhere. That's what led me here, creating spaces like Liberated Leader and Badass Biz Solutions, where I help entrepreneurs and leaders build aligned teams, scale sustainably, and multiply momentum. But before we go further, let's bring this closer to you. Grab your pen. Okay, do you have a pen and paper? What's your definition of leader? If that feels too big, jot down what comes to mind when you think about a person who led you in a way that stuck with you, or maybe even easier, a moment when you knew for sure what leadership was not. Don't overthink it. Just write what comes up: a few words, images, or feelings. Okay, because here's the thing: if you don't define leadership for yourself, you inherit a rule book someone else wrote for you, and most of it is garbage. Today, I want to talk to you about what happens when you stop leading by the old rules and start leading boldly on your own terms. I call this liberated leadership. And inside that, there are a few game changing power shifts that not only set you free, but they position you as a thought leader. But here's the kicker: before we can talk about leading others, we've got to face the hardest person to lead: ourselves. Because if you can't align your energy, your voice, and your own choices, no title, no team, no strategy is going to stick. And here's why. As leaders, whether you're running a business, a team, a community, or even your household, we've all been handed an invisible rule book. It says work harder, look polished, control every detail, never let them see you sweat. I don't know about you, but my rule book must have been missing the fine print that says side effects may include insomnia, loss of hair, and developing a tether attaching you to your phone. And while that rule book might help you survive for a while, it won't help you stand out as a voice, as a leader, or as someone creating impact. And if you've ever found yourself lying awake at 2 a.m., phone in hand, wondering, is this really what leadership is supposed to feel like? You're in the right place. Because leadership isn't about doing more, it's about being more, more real, more courageous, more aligned. Today, I want to invite you to ditch the outdated roles that keep you stuck in the grind and step into liberated leadership, where your message carries further, your people rise with you, and you're seen and appreciated for who you really are. I know this because I learned it the hard way. For years, I ran full throttle, outwardly successful, inwardly burning out. I tried to control everything, work harder than anyone else, and never show weakness. Like Cameron Diaz said in The Other Woman, cry on the inside like a winner. On paper, I was killing it. Big projects, big results, big reputation. But in reality, let's just say my coffee intake could have powered a small city. But I just kept telling myself, if I just work harder, I'll get ahead. Turns out the only thing that I got ahead of was my immune system. The dam finally cracked with my boss. Our values clashed so hard, every day felt like betrayal. And when my body gave out, stress, exhaustion, misalignment, I realized I couldn't keep trading my well being for success. Here's what no one is telling you: burnout isn't just exhaustion, burnout is self betrayal. I knew what I stood for, and I knew what leadership could be, but I felt confined by the old rules. So I walked away, not with a perfect plan, not with all the answers, but with a deep inner knowing I was done with the old rules.